I learned to crochet when I was a younger child, probably still in elementary school, with my older sister from a neighbor on our street. And even though I learned how, I never really made anything, but it was something that we just kind of played with. And then I put it aside. So years went by. My mother-in-law, who's a great crocheter, started crocheting all my kids' blankets. So when a friend of ours was going to have a baby back in the 90s, I asked my mother-in-law to show me a stitch, and that was the first big project I ever did and the first baby blanket I ever made. And even though it was so much fun and I loved it, I got busy with everything else with my kids and just put it aside again for probably another 20 years. So another friend was having a baby, and I decided I might want to try to do this again. Meanwhile, where I work, we have a knit and crochet club, and they had invited us to crochet scarves to give to refugees to the city of Pittsburgh. So I thought I'll start small with a scarf, and when I did my first couple of scarves, I figured I could do my blanket. And from there, I made blankets for all my siblings, my parents. I've made pillows. We make hats now every year at Christmas time for the Refugee Project. I've also made hats for Satchels of Caring, which is for cancer victims who are going through chemo. And from there, I also ignited my interest in sewing again, which I learned to do in junior high school. So I've been sewing little pin cushions, and sometimes I will embellish them with some of my crochet or with buttons. I love to thrift, so I have a lot of thrifted yarns, vintage fabrics, vintage buttons and brooches that I like to embellish my crochet and sewing projects with. I've started to try to follow patterns to make little characters, and I've been making some cute little octopi. Some I have named, I've given them little business cards, and some I've even decorated for seasons. So I've made a couple of Halloween octopus characters, and I find it very fulfilling. It's joyful, it's fun, it's therapeutic, and it's my favorite thing to do. My favorite project is probably my little Christmas sweaters, I think. I make little Christmas ornaments that look like, I call them ugly Christmas sweaters. I'm told I should call them not so ugly Christmas sweaters because some of them are kind of darling, but I do have fun with those. And I buy buttons and little sequins and kind of doll them up. And I've purchased tiny little hangers and I put them on the hanger. They each kind of take on the personalities themselves too. So that's probably my favorite. Plus, they're quick. You can make those in about a half an hour. I do like bigger projects too. I made all 5 of my siblings different blankets and different pillows for the past couple Christmas times for their gifts, and I tried to make everyone's different. So I had a different color yarn, a different pattern, different embellishments, and that was kind of fun, just trying to match up what I felt like would match their homes or their personality. So that's fun too.